Okay, I believe it's everything okay now. It's a pleasure as a member of the Linear Research Group to be hosting this session of discussion. Today, we are going to talk about the research group Linear, which was created in 2019 here at Paulo State University. We are a group that focuses on concerning the use of artificial intelligence in the forestry sector. Currently, it's composed by a group of students, have postgraduate students as well as undergraduate students, and also the support of other professionals who work with research with us. We believe that really multi-approach is much needed in order to tackle some problems that may environment, right? So for this reason, we some guests, and we would like to thank everyone for being here. We would like to invite everyone to check out our Facebook page, our Linear YouTube channel, because we are going to be creating more and more contents every week and hopefully every month. Okay, so thank you. Let's I'll just talk how I will invite, they will introduce themselves. Then we'll have a brief introduction of the topics, the two topics, which are, as I said, artificial intelligence and circular economy. Then we're going to ask for the participation of our guests here at YouTube and Facebook. Also, if you want to already leave some questions and some thoughts on these subjects, we will be happy to read them and afterwards answer them if we can, okay? After this brief introduction of the subjects, we're going to be asking some questions to each of our guests, and in the hopes that we can together reach some combined thoughts and some multidisciplinary approach to problems concerning circular economy and the artificial intelligence utilization. Okay. Thank you very much again, everyone who is watching. And now let's cut to the second part of our meeting. So now I would like to ask every guest here to give us a brief introduction of their historic, of their curriculum. Okay, so let's start by alphabetical order. Please, my friend from Italy, Emilio Bianco, welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us. And please let us know a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you for inviting me here. It's really a pleasure. So actually, I was born as a geographer. My studies are in geography. Then I started to work in the main environmental NGO in Italy. Well, the name is Legambiente. And now I deal with the circular economy and waste management and innovation. Then I follow as communication manager on a European project about sustainable packaging, and the name of it is BioCompact. Then I'm part of the council of the faculty of the University of Milan Environmental Sciences and Policies. And I'm vice president of a little venue of my association of Legambiente.
Okay, thank you, Emilio, for your brief introduction. Now, following on with our alphabetical approach. So now, please, Jessica, can you introduce yourself? Oh, Jessica, you have to turn on your mic. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So, my name is Jessica. I live in Campinas and I have a post graduation in human nutrition. I work as a dietitian, and particularly my approach in nutrition is to create diets which are viable economically and also sustainable and culturally appropriate for the Brazilian population. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how the food industry connects to both circular economy and artificial intelligence.
Okay, perfect, Jessica. Thank you very much for your presence here. We are all eager to listen to your subjects, your thoughts about this opinion. Okay, let's follow on now with our friend Mateus, which is one of the co-founders of the Linear Research Group. Please, Mateus, be welcome. Mateus, you have to turn on your microphone. Turn on your mic, man.
Oh, sorry. Thank
Okay,
you, Ivan,
perfect.
for your
Perfect,
introduction.
come on.
Thank you, Jessica, Emilio, Professor Ribas. Hello, all. It's a pleasure to discuss with you such relevant themes. I am a forest engineering graduated in São Paulo State University, Unesp, Botucatu, and I am currently doing my master degree at the same university. I'm also co-founder of the Linear Research Group, interested in deep learning technique to apply and optimize botanical identification process via image classification. Back to you, Ivan.
Okay, thank you, Mateus, for your introduction. So far, we can see that every guest here has a different background. So this is going to be an interesting day. And now we're going to ask our estimated Professor Ribas. We're with us today. He's a professor at the São Paulo State University and interested in public policies concerning the environmental aspects. Okay, please, Professor, can you introduce yourself? Thank you for being here.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Luis Cesar Ribas. As Ivan said, I am a professor at the Rural Engineering Socioeconomy Department, and I work with policy, politics, and legislation under the natural researches and forestry researches point of view. And my interest in this subject, artificial intelligence and circular economy, is try to use these two tools or two trends in order to help our policies and legislations. And I would like to try work with this subject in my field.
Okay, thank you, Professor. It's an honor to have you here with us, someone representing a full position at the university. And I'm sure that we'll have lots to talk about from now on, okay? So now that we have everybody introduced, I'll introduce myself really briefly. I'm my role here as a host. I'm not going to be giving any opinions, but I'm also a member of the Linear Group, and I'm currently working with artificial intelligence as well. Okay, so now moving on, we are in track here of the comments in the Facebook and YouTube. So if you have any questions, if you're watching us and have any questions, please let us know. We're going to answer if possible, okay? Now, circular economy and artificial intelligence. These are two concepts that are very, very interesting. They are not so easily understandable by everyone. So we as scientists, we believe that we have the obligation to translate these kind of concepts into more understandable form, and also to be the society. So basically, it's part of our work as scientists to disseminate and to give space to this kind of discussion. So we're not going to get into too much detail here, but we are going to introduce these two concepts briefly, so we can build on from there our discussion, okay? So concerning artificial intelligence, what is artificial intelligence? Basically, if you think about the sense of the expression, artificial intelligence is a science that's going to study ways and forms of creating a computer or a computer system that can think like a human brain, that can execute and also progress in learning in the same way that a human brain can do, okay? So basically, this is the idea of artificial intelligence. We always use artificial intelligence mostly, and one of the main reasons is because these systems of artificial intelligence, they have an ability to, to analyze and to compute and to also have this ability. Intelligence usually are much more efficient at this task. So we as humans, we take advantage of this characteristic of artificial intelligence, and what we do, we have to take this tool that we have and make it work for us, okay? So this is the main idea of artificial intelligence. It's not a coincidence that there are terms in this science field that remind us of some human characteristics, such as neural networks, for example. Okay, so I don't want to get too much into detail here. So let's move on to the next concept, which is circular economy. In this case, I would like to ask my friend Emilio to give us a brief introduction of this concept. Please, Emilio, can you give us some thoughts on the subject?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Steven. So circular economy is an economic paradigm aiming to redefine and change the way we have lived our lives until now. Our society, mostly after the Second World War, follows the linear economic principles. So take, make, use, dispose. Circular economy goes beyond it. So waste stop to be seen as something as we have to throw, but it becomes a resource that we put back in the productive system. And there are two cycles of it: a biological cycle and a technical cycle. Biological cycle. So when we have food or bio-based products like wood or the new biopolymers, they must follow two ways: or the aerobic digestion with the production of compost that we will use in agriculture, or the anaerobic digestion with the production of biogas and digestate. The technical cycle recover and restore the products, the materials, through repairing, reusing, remanufacturing, and at last, recycling. So summarizing, the circular economy is based on three principles: design out waste and pollution, keep materials and products in use, and regenerate natural systems. And what is very important, that circular economy must be supported by a real strong transition to renewable energy sources. Circular economy is a really great opportunity for the entire world. It can create in Europe a net benefit of 1.8 trillion by 2030. 1.8 trillion. And it creates jobs. It stimulates innovation. And of course, it provides and generates environmental benefits.
Very nice, Emilio. Thank you for your explanation. It's interesting that you brought us into this topic, the question of profit, of return, of monetary return from this activity, which is very important in order to create a driving force for people to be more and more into this kind of practice, right? Okay, this was very nice. Thank you again, Emilio. And I would like now to take some minutes to read some comments. So we have here at the YouTube channel, Paulo. Thank you, Paulo, for your comments. We have at Facebook, Carlos Luis. Thank you, Carlos Luis. We are very proud to be here talking to you. And we hope that you can enjoy very much from our conversation, okay? If you have any questions, if you want to ask something, please, you can leave in the comments, even in Portuguese. I can translate the question into English for our guests, okay? Thank you very much for your presence. Now, moving on a little bit. So we have talked about circular economy. We have talked about artificial intelligence. And now is where all the things get together. So how can we think about artificial intelligence and circular economy as a pair working together for a sustainable future? This is a big question. So we are going to approach this question from different points of view, since we have a multidisciplinarity group here. And I would like to start then with my friend Mateus. Please, Mateus, I would like to ask you one question. How do you think the development of AI in forest engineering could help to promote circular economy?
That's a great and big question. Artificial intelligence techniques applied to the forest sector can bring direct benefits to the creation of a circular economy. And how is that possible? A study called Circular Economy Diagnosis in the Forest Sector in Southern Brazil, published this year in the journal Science and Total Environment, showed that the production of steam and electricity from forest residues is the main characteristics regarding circular economy of this sector. The same study indicated that a synergy between local companies could improve material use efficiency, reduce the need for virgin resource extraction, return nutrients to the soil, and provide clean energy, thus reducing the need of landfills. I'd like to mention an industrial case concerning a company called Fibria. Initially, this company applied AI techniques in forest inventory process, aiming the reduction of field measurement costs. The tool was successfully validated, yielding a 20% cost reduction in this activity. Later, AI was also applied to wood density prediction, which is an important parameter in forest industrial process. In this case, the time needed to obtain this parameter was reduced, as well as the cost related to simple collection. Also, in the prediction model, it was possible to add new variables such as quantitative data of forest inventory and environment indexes in addition to qualitative information. The company intends to extend AI application in order to optimize water and supply consumption, enhance energetic efficiency, optimize workmanship, obtain geographical traceability of service and supplies consumption, raise operation safety via behavior management, guarantee that information is obtained at the appropriate time, raise the productivity and accuracy of information. That's really important. With this example, I consider that AI is and will be an important ally in utilization of forest resources, thus contribution to the sector circular economy.
Okay, thank you, Mateus. This was a very good example because you just mentioned 20% reduction in costs. You mentioned increase in energy efficiency. You mentioned decrease in resource consumption. So these are all objectives that we think of when we think about sustainability, which is a very important concept that walks together with the circular economy. Okay, thank you very much for your speech. Okay, now we've heard a little bit about a company experience with artificial intelligence and how this helps a company to obtain profits and better margins. But now I'm going to take a wild turn here, and then we're going to try to discover how the food industry and also a nutritionist could help their patients, né? How a nutritionist can help their patients in order to obtain different diets, and how this can relate to circular economy and also artificial intelligence. So please, Jessica, welcome again and be our guest. We're eager to hear you.
Thank you, Ivan. This time I didn't forget to turn on my mic. So, as we all know, the food industry has a huge impact on both economy and the environment. However, it's still a big challenge to adopt some sustainable approaches. Why? Because it's not financially viable in many cases. Well, on this light, circular economy is a spark of hope because it means a lot of profit for the company. They profit once on the product and then once again on the destination of the residue, which becomes a new product. And in Brazil, there is a huge case of the Brazil nut. So ever since the beginning of the processing, they think of all the parts of the nut and how they are going to profit on every part of it. They sell the nut itself. They also extract the oil by cold pressing it. The residue is then turned into flour and also sold for food industry. And the hard shell becomes a fertilizer. So they have 3 to 4 times the profit they would have if they only focused on the nut itself. When we think about circular economy on the food industry, there are 3 main goals. Okay, the first one is prioritizing source food that is grown locally and regeneratively. And for that, the agronomists play a big role here because they have to think of how this is going to be done. Also, on how they are going to design and market new products that are healthy and also appealing to the public. Artificial intelligence can be used for that. There is a case of a company called Notco. They create plant-based products and they used artificial intelligence to study the consumers and see what would be more attractive for them. The results were excellent. Some say that their products are even better than their animal original products. And last but not least, my role as a nutritionist is making the most out of food. And it all starts by raising awareness on everyone from the processing. So for people to choose the companies that have more sustainable approaches towards processing this food, and also buying local and using food as a whole. So, as nutritionists, it's our obligation to think of ways to reduce waste, and cooking at home is one of them. We should be teaching people how to cook instead of teaching them only how to lose weight. And so I believe my part here is to teach people how to have a sustainable diet that is responsible in all ways to the economy and the environment. I believe that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Jessica. If you allow me for a little contribution, when you say about teaching people how to cook, this I think this is also in the same process that we are having today with our pandemic situation. So if we are staying more at home, right, and avoiding to be out of home, then it's natural that we start creating more residues inside our home. So instead of thinking only in companies as responsible for this kind of circular, let's say, circular cycle of residue, we can also think about ourselves. We have a great role in that, right? Thank you very much again. And now we have talked a little bit about companies, a little bit about the food industry, and but we also know the importance of having every aspect of the society into the discussion. So it's imperative that we have universities tackling this issue, that we have public policies regarding this question, and that we have governmental players also interested in this goal. So to shed some light over the subject for us, I would like to ask for our estimated Professor Ribas a question for you now, Professor. How do universities and academic environments act in relation to circular economy, Professor? Hey, Professor, have to turn your mic on. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, perfect.
This subject is very
Thank you,
recent.
thank you.
This subject is very recent in our universities. A few places is working with this subject in Brazil. In our university, we are trying to work with this subject, but in fact, I think that we always work with subjects linked with this concept because circular economy reminds us sustainability, reminds us cleaner production, green economy, goals of millennium, uh, Taishi's target is sustainable development goals, growth, and now circular economy. Why the specific concept of circular economy? In my opinion, is linked with exactly policies, environment policies, and legislations. For instance, solid waste national policy that introduces words or themes such as reserve logistics and for instance also prevent actions, and one of the most important concepts that is um, sustainable consumption and production. And with what we need to do in our university, I think that we join all the expertise and try to work within multidisciplinarity and transdisciplinarity point of view. The students, the teachers, the stakeholders, we needed to do try with this trend because environment is a systematic or systematization approach, and this is a challenge for us in our university.
Thank you, Professor, for your answer. It's nice that you just said that because we had a great time here since we had a question from Carlos Souza here at Facebook. Thank you very much, Carlos, for your question. So he asked if circular economy and artificial intelligence would have some application in public economy, or how could the governments have a boost to participate, integrate, and help also in private economy. So Professor just said about the public policies that we have. Of course, worldwide, each country has its own, but it's a reality already. And also, we had a little bit of information from Mateus about the private companies that can profit from this association of concepts, and also the view of our friend nutritionist Jessica, which shed some light on how the food industry can also contribute from this concept. So, Carlos, I believe that your answer has been already given by our guests, and it's clear that we have the need for a multidisciplinarity approach, and for approach that has players from every sector. This is imperative if you want to have the integral, let's say, the installation of a circular economy worldwide, let's say. Okay, so I don't want to get too much into thoughts here. I'm just the host. Let's get back to our guests. And now I would like to invite our guest, Emilio, to give us a little thought about a subject, which is, Emilio, what can you say about the current state of AI implementation in circular economies around the world today?
Sorry, the microphone. So let me first just say that we must overcome the linear economy model and its negative impact. So we really need a new approach, and artificial intelligence can play a really important role in the transition to circular economy. Artificial intelligence won't take the place of people. It will complement people's skills and capabilities. It can valorize circular economy innovation in mainly three ways. Design circular products, components, materials, and for example, there is a project from the European Space Agency called Accelerate Metallurgy, and in this case, artificial intelligence is used to analyze a huge amount of data on existing materials and their properties, so to find the best solution. Then operate circular business models. And here, for example, there is an American company, I'm not sure I will pronounce it well, it's Staffster, and it's a trading platform for secondary resources and products. And here, artificial intelligence is used to set competitive prices. Then, another way is to optimize circular infrastructures. And here, artificial intelligence can help to improve the processes to sort and disassemble products. Like an example here, it's the Finnish company Zen Robotics that combines artificial intelligence and robotic for a real-time analysis of the waste stream. So the opportunity offered by artificial intelligence to the transition to circular economy is huge. It's enormous. Just for another example, because my colleague Jessica was talking about food. Just imagine that we can have an image recognition of the fruit, of vegetables, and we can pick them exactly when they are ready. You know, we'll in our days we lose a third of all the food what we produce. It's crazy, and we should find a solution for it, and artificial intelligence for sure can help.
That's awesome, Emilio. Thank you very much. I am personally very happy to be here with you discussing this subject with such a different background people. And also, it's a pleasure as a scientist to be talking with colleagues, even if we have to do it remotely because of our situation. But thank you very much again, Emilio, for your explanation. So we have now reached a point of our discussion where we have some ideas put on the table. We have some examples that we heard. We have some different points of view. And now I'm going to take a look at our social media here, because I believe there's a question here.
Ivan,
Oh, sorry. Okay, proceed.
can I speak
Yes.
a little bit? I talk.
Sure, please.
I talk about circular economy and policy and legislations, but I forgot to talk a little bit about policies and legislation and artificial intelligence. And my desire with desire to work with artificial intelligence is try to improve it, the prevent actions, the monitoring and control, the fiscalization, and the environment management of by municipal power of Botucatu, because this afternoon I had a meeting with the environment municipal council of Botucatu, and we was talking about irregular settlements, né? Irregular, né? And the law of the urban perimeter, and all these subjects is linked with a circular economy, because the sustainability, the environment damages, and also with artificial intelligence, because we needed to try or to work with artificial intelligence in order to design future trends and help to all the people to do the best or the correct things about the natural researches.
Okay, Professor, thank you for this insight. Uh, sure, it's a complicated question because at the end of the day, we have artificial intelligence working for us. And maybe what we need more is natural intelligence. Because, you know, that artificial intelligence will do whatever we want it to do. So we need also the person behind the computer to be also a responsible person thinking about the future of our plants, right? Thank you, Professor. It was very good insights. And now I'm going to briefly ask here a question from our spectator, Paulo Couto. Thank you very much, Paulo, for your question. So what Paulo is asking, if do the productivity of a forest, is it possible to raise the productivity of a forest by using AI? And at the same time, how could AI contribute to control and to maintain the health of the forests? So this is an interesting question, very interesting question. I can give some light on the subject, but if someone wants to also contribute, please be my guest. So what we know that is that artificial intelligence is really important to raise the productivity of a forest, in the sense that some kind of measurements that you have to do in a forest, such as measure the height of a tree and also the diameter of a tree, to have an idea of the volume of wood that you can produce from this forest. When you have artificial intelligence doing this kind of measurements for us in an indirect manner, so you can have much more data, as we were saying, much more data collected with less effort. And when you have a larger collection of data, you can always have better outcomes of research and better productivity rates and decisions. You can make your decisions based on more information. So basically, that is the answer to the question. It's possible, yes. It's very important in this idea of raising productivity, and also to control the growth of a forest and also its health. Okay. Anybody wants to give us some thoughts?
Ivan,
I want to implement this answer. Um, you are correct, Ivan. Thank you. And for Paulo Couto, yes, if we optimize the process within the entire production chain with artificial intelligence, this is possible. Process that range from planting to harvest. Yes. For the health of the forest, we have some cases of companies that apply artificial intelligence to detect disease, pests, and weeds. How it will optimize improving management and understand the integration of the large amount of data generated by the forest. And in the case of health, if we manage to control disease more efficiently, we will be able to improve treatments and forest health. If we manage to control disease more efficiently, we will be able to improve.
Very good, Mateus. Professor, do you want to compliment on that?
yeah, I was talking about artificial intelligence can help us to use more complex mathematical modeling and simulation with a huge quantity of biotic and abiotic variables. And I think that management the forest is very complex, and artificial intelligence can help us to do this with a better way.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. It was a great experience to have this conversation with you all. We are now moving towards the last part of our talk. We are already streamed for 48 minutes now, so we are a little short on time. So on behalf of the Linear Group, I would like to thank everyone who watched this video, to thank all the guests. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Mateus. Thank you, Professor Luis Ribas. And thank you, Emilio. It was really a pleasure to be here with you. And we have to focus again, not trying to be not too repetitive, but the multidisciplinarity really is a key factor here. Okay, I think this is my personal final message, and I would like to invite all of the guests to each one of you give us a short bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Ivan.
Please, if you
all.
can start, Jessica, please.
All right. So thank you very much for this opportunity. It was great talking about this connection, which not many people know, because when we think of artificial intelligence, it seems like something so distant from our reality, and it's not. And if only people could see how close circular economy is to our practices at home, I believe things would be much better nowadays, right? And so thank you once again, and congratulations everyone on your work as a whole. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Please, Mateus, can you say your last thoughts?
I want to thank you all. I want to say thank you all, and I feel like Jessica. This discuss is very and really important um, to do. And thank you, Emilio. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Professor and Ivan, for contributing with Linear Group.
Okay, Mateus. Professor Ribas, please, your last message in this talk.
We are a institutional group. We are just in the beginning, and we'd like to invite everyone to join with us in this challenge.
Thank you,
Okay,
Professor.
let me.
Emilio, our guest from Italy.
Yeah, I would like to thank first everybody. Thank you, Ivan. Thanks to Professor Ribas, to Jessica, to Mateus, and even to Flavia that you don't see people but she is really working for this, and I really appreciate. I would like just say that as we saw, artificial intelligence can be really a great part of and it will be a real great part of our future. It's just about us to address it in the right way, in a sustainable way, for a sustainable future. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think that's about it. On behalf of Linear Intelligence, of Linear Research Group, I would like again to thank you, everyone. Good call, Emilio. We have to thank also Flavia, who is working behind the scenes here. So she's a great contributor also to this talk. Thank you, Flavia, very much. I would like to remind everyone to check out our Facebook page, Linear Inteligência, and also our YouTube channel. So we're beginning to create more content. And if you like this kind of topic, this kind of subject, you can stay tuned. You can subscribe yourself to our channel, please, and hit all the notifications button so you have a notification every time that we post a video. Okay? So thank you very much. It was awesome, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.